Zarin and the Purple Flame Secret. Chapter 1, The Mystery of the Purple Flame. Zarin, one young dragon, flew high into the clouds, bound for Skyward Academy. Cinnamon-scented steam puffed from his nose instead of fire, and warm light touched his wings. Though the sky was colored pink and orange, Zarin was not excited. Today, he would finally learn the reason behind his strange power, why his fire was purple and smelled spicy. Other young dragons waited at the crystal gates of the academy, excitedly chattering. Some of them had golden fire, others red like a searing ember. When Zarin arrived, his purple smoke caused everyone to stare. They stared, curious. When the teachers arrived, all fell silent, sage Professor Gol-Goshri, whose scales gleamed like emeralds, and kind Mistress Liliri, who taught wind and clouds. Zarin felt small beneath all eyes. But his friend Sam nodded casually and smiled in greeting, which helped Zarin feel a little braver. Professor Gol-Goshri tapped on the desk to start the lesson. Today, she said, every dragon will set a sky blossom ablaze. The children opened their mouths and breathed fire onto floating blue flowers. They were covered in golden and red fire. When it was Zarin's turn, he closed his eyes and breathed. Silky purple smoke curled around the flower. It did not burn, but the aroma of cinnamon filled the air, and the flower glowed with a soft light. Butterflies stirred and danced around. Some of the students gasped. "It's lovely, isn't it?" Sam breathed beside him. Zarin opened his eyes and noticed Mistress Liliri bob slowly, as if she had heard something marvelous. But then someone snorted behind him. Liliri spun around. "No humor in my class," she said. Then noticing Zarin, she said, "Come here." Zarin's heart pounded, but he advanced. Professor Gol-Goshri glanced in his direction and winked. "Spectacular," she mouthed. Maybe. His purple flame was not so terrible after all. Chapter 2, The Golden Seed and the Sky Bird. After school, Sam and Zarin walked along a soft cloud trail, sun-kissed gold from the setting sun. Sam told funny stories to help Zarin relax. They rounded a corner, and a small silver bird swooped towards them. Its feathers glowed like moonlight, and it sang a laugh. The bird flew alongside Zarin and deposited something small and golden into his claw. It was a tiny seed, the same golden color as Zarin's eyes. The bird, known to the cloud people as a Gol-Goshri, chirped gratefully. Zarin puffed cinnamon smoke from his nose softly. To his wonder, flowers burst forth on the seed in the cloud below. The petals unfolded like magic. The bird sang merrily and took flight. Sam stared, mouth gaping. "Did you do that?" "I think I did," Zarin marveled. Something changed in Zarin. He had helped a living creature and helped something new to grow. The Gol-Goshri returned once more and dropped yet another seed before flying off into the distance. Sam picked it up, grinning. "We have to plant this in the academy garden." Zarin was pleased. Maybe his strange smoke was of use. Chapter 3, The Garden That Listened. The next day, Zarin was up early at the floating gardens, where Mistress Liliri taught plants and nature. There were humongous cloud lilies and star thistles which swayed softly in the wind. Liliri told the students that an understanding of nature would allow them to master all the elements. They had each been given a little plant and told to cause it to grow using only their breath. When it was Zarin's turn, he breathed deeply and thought about growth, not fire. He puffed a gentle purple mist. The air smelled of warm, sweet incense. His own plant began to glow and expand, turning into a golden vine that curled up toward the sun. Even Professor Gol-Goshri, walking by, stopped and grinned. "Impressive," he declared. Mistress Laliri also spoke out. Chapter 4, The Storm Comes. That evening, Zarin was standing on a cloud balcony, looking up at the sky. There were stars shining in the yellow sky, but something was off. In the distance, an unusual, grayish cloud formed. Thunder boomed, even though there wasn't any rain. The cloud shifted to purple over time, like Zarin's smoke. Startling alarm pierced the academy. A gigantic storm had appeared out of thin air. Lightning illuminated the horizon. The wind shook the afloat buildings. Zarin rushed out of his room, pulling Sam along with him. "The Great Hall," bellowed the headmistress. Everyone jammed inside as the tempest raged on outside. Professor Gol-Goshri stared out the window. "This storm is not natural," he declared. "It's alive, and it's testing us." The doors opened wide. Ice and wind flooded in. Dragons panicked. But Zarin was not afraid. He recalled the small bird and the cinnamon odor. He took a step forward. Outside, a dragon cloud growled. It was a lion of purple smoke and lightning. "Why are you angry?" Zarin whispered. Chapter 5, The Secrets Below. Zarin was tired but elated after the storm. Professor Gol-Goshri asked to meet him in the Crystal Archive. "You have a special talent," she said. "There's something you should see." She led him down twisting passageways to a hidden library. A musty smell of old books and wood engulfed the air. They entered a private room that was called the Chamber of Lost Secrets. In the middle of the room, resting upon a stone table, was a radiant book. "This is the history of our kind," Gol-Goshri told him. Zarin read the golden words. The story was about old dragons who did not spew fire, but life-giving smoke. Their breath was calm, not destructive. They were the guardians of the sky. Zarin's name was in the book. He was part of the House of the Dragon of Dawn and Golden Wind. His fire was to calm storms. He beheld his heart fill with pride. He stroked the book gently, and power filled the room. "You are dragons' descendants who were fond of nature," Gol-Goshri asserted. They showed that kindness is strength. Sam and Mistress Laliri stood at the entrance, amazed. Zarin understood now, his cinnamon-scented smoke was a blessing. He was meant to heal the skies. Out there, the clouds drift in sunlight in the morning. Zarin took a deep breath, and his smoke turned into a rainbow of warm colors. Being different, he was special. With his faith in himself, he saved his school and showed everyone that real magic occurs within. Skyward Academy would never forget the purple flame dragon from then on, and Zarin was home at last.
Written by Rayhana Rizzoli.